What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review, and today we're taking a look at The Crow, and this is the new 2024 version, and I'm going to be completely honest with you here, Chief. I did not fucking know that there was 5 of these bastards, alright? So, in January, maybe late December, I'll be taking a look at the other 3, alright? But, as of right now, we're taking a look at the one that came out in 2024 as part of the duo thing, because I did the first one yesterday, and I thought that was it, but no, apparently there's 5 of these fuckers. So, we're not doing all 5 now, unfortunately, but the other 3 will be reviewed over the next couple of months, so do stay tuned for that. That's something for you to keep coming back, keep coming to check on the channel for, and something to keep you entertained, keep you engaged, and yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when that does happen. But without any further delay, let's get into the actual movie. So, The Crow 2024 is an action fantasy. It's an hour and 51 minutes, has a 4.6 out of 10 IMDb and a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, and has a 4 out of 10 on AV Forums. Right, going straight into this, it's not a remake. This is its own standalone movie, and that's what I'm going to be reviewing it as. And the story follows soulmates Eric Draven and Shelley Webster are brutally murdered when the demons of the dark past catch up with them. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Draven returns to seek bloody revenge against the killers, traversing the world of the living and the dead to put the wrong things right. So how the story actually goes is we follow, like, this kid who blows up his mum's house, sets it on fire, burns the house down while she's passed out in like a drunken state because the horse died. He's a horse boy, his horse died, so he went on some psycho crazy shit, stereotypical horse person stuff, you know, horse girl, horse guy, whatever, they go fucking psycho if you fuck with their horse. And, you know, he then gets put in like a mental place, like a sort of rehab type thing, and his sort of soulmate ends up in that rehab situation as well because she ends up carrying drugs around with her, so she's put in rehab. They start to sort of form a friendship, and they know each other for 3 days. They escape rehab, go back to her apartment, fuck a lot, try on clothes, go on dates, become hippies, do drugs, and basically forget whatever rehab told them, live life to the fullest. And then whatever she was running away from and threw herself into rehab to get away from, catches up with them, kills them. He comes back with the power of the Crow and goes on a fucking murder spree. As long as his love stays pure, he can't die, except if his brain gets destroyed. If his brain gets fucked, he dies, but his body will regenerate. So he starts running around, killing people, struggling with his new powers, struggling to learn like how to use his powers, learning to, like, you know, what to do and how to do it. And he stops regenerating after he watches the video of his girlfriend killing someone because he starts to doubt her, and then he makes a deal with the devil. You know, he shakes his hand and he's like, right, cool, this deal we don't get told about till later, but I'll quickly spoil it here. You know, the deal is he can go back to the real world and kill everyone and save his girlfriend, but he can't save himself. He gives his own soul up for that. So he goes back, he goes on a murder rampage, he does some really fucking cool makeup, some Joker-like makeup, some, like, psycho makeup, goes in, fucks everyone up, kills everyone, goes back to the land of the dead, and is like, hey, you're my girl, I've saved you. And she's like, no, I don't want to go without you, I don't want to go without you. And he's like, well, tough shit, I saved you, bye bye, kiss you, I'll remember you forever. He walks off into like the sort of afterlife and looks back and sees a flock of crows flying, and that's where the movie ends. Again, the movie is an hour and 52 minutes. I ran through that within 2, so please do go watch the movie and check it out for yourself. I just wanted to get everyone up to date with the plot right now, for me to actually talk about it. So there's a couple of things that I noticed. It is very superhero heavy. It is taking the likes of a superhero storyline, like some modern superhero storyline, with him sort of learning how to use his powers, sort of using his powers for justice, having some extra sort of really cool sort of jumping, fighting, and loads of blood and gore. So it just feels like a modern superhero take on the old Crow. Again, the powers are very similar. They are different people, but they do share the same names. I'm not sure if it's like an alternate universe or whatever, but it is 2 separate stories. This comes as the 5th installment, so he is the 5th Crow in the franchise. He is the 5th Crow person, Crow user of the Crow, whatever. I didn't like his girlfriend, I'm gonna be honest. His girlfriend seemed really shitty. Like, they knew each other for like 5 fucking days. They knew each other for 5 days, and then that was it. They were fucking gone. It was like, they were in love 5 days. They knew each other for 5 days, like, in-universe days. That's it. They were loving each other, having each other's back. It was 5 fucking days, dog. You don't get all this love and affection from 5 days. Like, no fucking way. Love does not spawn that fast. Love does not develop or grow that fast. You will not sacrifice your life for this person in 5 fucking days. For real? 5 days? Are we serious here? That's the most unbelievable thing about this movie. I loved the action. I loved the sort of new take on the Crow with it being the same actor as Pennywise. He added this really creepy, sort of scary aesthetic, and to see him change over the time of the movie to become into like this real badass. He started off quite like goofy, quite silly, quite quirky, and he turned into this like real badass at the end who like was out for blood, out for vengeance, and it was really fucking cool to see him change. I really liked his outfit, I'm gonna be honest. It was no Kiss makeup like we saw before when he had all those different like Kiss makeups in the first movie, but this outfit, this attire was so much fucking cooler. I loved his tattoos, I loved the trench coat, I thought he looked badass, he was like a real good superhero look to him, and I thought it was just so fucking cool. I thought it was so interesting and so creative. I don't know why people hated this movie. Like, Lionsgate made this movie, Lionsgate also made the Borderlands movie. And they're both really good. They're both alright movies. I wouldn't say they're brilliant, like, top 10 movie of the year. I won't say that, but I'm not saying that they're shit. I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm not saying that they're unwatchable. This still has some really great qualities going for it. Like, it has some great acting, some great set design, some great CGI and animation with that purgatory place looking like a train station. I really like that idea of it being a train station, because you're going from one place to another. It's a station of travel. Traveling from one place to another. Getting on a train, going somewhere, and it being run down also gives like this really good sort of aesthetic of it being like, hey, you're here for a long time, this place has been around for a long time, you know, you're going to be here for a while, and trains ain't coming through anytime soon. This is purgatory. You're here for a while to sort of, you know, judge what you've done before you can go into like heaven. You haven't done enough to get into hell, but you haven't done enough good to get into heaven straight away. It is creepy, it is dark, it is very mysterious, and the weird skeleton creature eel things were really cool as well. They like moved with the spines and they came and sort of like ripped the villain to shreds. I thought that was really cool, but I didn't like the villain. The villain was like a Morbius level villain. The villain felt very Morbius vibes as he went to whisper in someone's ear, and then they was like mind controlled by him to do whatever he wanted, and then they went to kill people. And it's just like, that's so shitty. That's such like a shitty vampire level Morbius villain. He cuts his hand, cuts them, and puts his hand on their cuts and absorbs their blood, absorbs their youth to stay alive forever. He's a backwards vampire. He doesn't suck the blood, he just absorbs it through his hands. It's a backwards vampire. He's still a vampire nonetheless, and I thought it was really shitty. I did not like the villain of this movie. He wasn't really a villain either. He didn't have any threat to him. He didn't have any sort of scary fight to him. The end battle was kind of anticlimactic between them because he was way stronger than the villain anyway. The villain even tried to do the whispery thing in his ear, and obviously our main guy couldn't die, so there was no fucking point or no sort of real way to get through that, and plus he was a pure of heart anyway, so he fucking overcame that demon and that dark side, which was incredible. But yeah, it just kind of felt lackluster because the villain was very boring. Like, he had an army of goons, which was really cool to see them get massacred. That opening lobby bit was a really good place for them to fight. Watching him fight his way up the stairs and fight through all those villains, and seeing each creative way he could kill them, it was some John Wick level shit. What he was doing was like John Wick level shit. He was like cutting people's mouths open, giving them like a puppet mouth. He was fucking cutting people's heads off, cutting people's legs off, cutting their balls off, cutting their bodies in half. He was fucking menacing. He was a beast. He ran through with a sword, and they all had guns, and he was fucking them up. He even used the sword when it was in his body to fucking impale someone else. That is aura. That is like the next level sort of badassery. That is cool as fuck. Using a sword which is stabbing out of your chest to stab someone else by dragging them towards you is fucking incredible. That's next level shit. That's also how you get tetanus, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. That's kind of disgusting, but they're not going to care when they're dead, alright? They're not going to care when they're dead. At least, if they would have survived, tetanus might have been a worry, but there was no way they were living after that. That was a bloodbath. It was gory. It was great. I was hyped. I was excited. I was locked in. I was locked in for most of this movie. It did have quite a slow start, and even my granddad and my nana watched this movie with me, and they both agreed that it did have a slow start, and it was a little bit boring to begin with, but it got better as the movie went on, and I liked that. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed that. That was really interesting, with like the movie getting better and better and better till it got to the climax. And I'm gonna be honest, the climax was a little bit of a letdown, with the villain being, you know, just a generic vampire and not really having much plot relevance other than being the one who killed the girl. Like, he didn't really have much threat to him or like much danger. It kind of felt very lackluster in villain department, but to be fair, the last couple of villains in the Crow series were just mob bosses, so you know, you can forgive it. You can forgive and forget. And I'm gonna be honest, this movie isn't as bad as what everyone says. It is a solid 7 out of 10 for me. This is a solid 7 out of 10, and be expecting LEGO customs based on some of the characters coming very soon, because I actually liked this movie unlike many other people. So you know what, I'm filling my channel with it to get some hype around it, because it deserved better. I'm gonna be honest, it deserved better.